Hey, everyone. This is Vinay Raman with the brand new episode of 10x Your Coaching Consulting Business Growth. The whole purpose of this episode is designed to give coaches and consultants and service based professionals some actionable strategies to grow their businesses rapidly by using data driven strategies and methods that they can implement very quickly with business intelligence, emotional intelligence, all just kind of woven together. Um, Today's specific topic is as part of the 10x Your Coaching Business series. Today's specific topic is optimize your marketing ROI by 60%. So, this episode, we're going to focus on how to implement a data driven content marketing strategy that delivers measurable results, and it's all on autopilot. So, first thing I'd like to say that this is an interactive episode. These are all lessons learned for me over time, and I would love for them to be value creating for you. So, the first thing I'd ask you to do is go over to your right hand side. I believe it's on your right hand side. You'll see a comment box. Tell me what city or country you're connecting in from. And throughout the course of this, if you happen to be watching after the actual live event, that's perfectly great and perfectly fine. I'm glad you're here. I hope you're getting some value out of it as well. Just do me a favor. When you type something into the comments, type pound replay and then your comment. So that makes me aware of when you joined during the live session or afterwards. It's useful for me to understand. Regardless, I will respond back to you with any comments or suggestions, thoughts you have. So thank you so much for joining us today. Looking forward to giving you some insights. Well, let me first do a little bit of an introduction of myself. My name is Vinay Raman. I'm the founder and CEO of Karmo. I'm going to tell you some of the resume stuff first. I have a background in math, computer science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. And I'll tell you, machine learning and artificial intelligence, back when I did my master's, was not a very sexy or interesting topic. I was a person that people walked away from in parties. Today, I think it actually has changed. Now everyone wants to kind of know what I'm doing in artificial intelligence, machine learning. It's kind of funny how that's shifted a little bit. So it's become very appropriate for conversation today, which I guess I was kind of lucky there. Um, I've also run or been part of senior leadership for 6 companies. I've actually had 2 successful exits or sales of companies to date that I have been part of. But that's all the resume stuff. I think the more important thing is through the course of my 25 plus years of experience, I feel like I make pretty much every single mistake that there is to make out there. Um, but I didn't let it get me down. Sometimes it felt a little worse than others, but I kind of just kept learning. And that is what I'd like to do today is share with you some of the things that I've learned along the way that have made me just better and better iteratively over time. In fact, what we're going to do is we're going to share with you some of what is our patented process, excuse me, our proven process, um, our proven process for getting content and lead generation, all this stuff kind of coming in your direction as your coach or consultant. Because that's what we do in my company, Carmo. We specialize in helping coaches, consultants, service based professionals grow their business by integrating business intelligence and emotional intelligence. We call that integrated intelligence. Can you get the emotions of people and also the data and bring those 2 things together? Because now you start making really, really insightful decisions. And that's what we do as a company. Our proven process, the content flywheel, which I referred to just a couple of moments ago, is about automated lead generation and content creation, client engagement. It allows you to scale your business. So I know when I was a coach or consultant, I was really interested in spending time with people, trying to help understand their problems, discern what the problems were, and then solve them. And I had to do the networking, which I do like having conversations with people. I had to do the sales, which I do like that. Really wanted to be focused on scaling my business in the expertise and the perspectives that I could yield to individuals and teams. So this is all about how you get to focus on that piece that you really love. So I'd ask anybody who is listening in, please go to the comments and tell me, have you ever found that about yourself where you'd like to spend more time doing the coaching, the consulting, providing the service and solutions to people as opposed to doing the sales and business development? find a lot of people kind of get trapped in that dichotomy. They like one or the other. If you are interested in more of the sales, excuse me, more of the coaching and the um, consulting and providing of service solutions, please type that in the comment. I'd love to hear your experience and kind of where you fall on that spectrum. Thank you. Um, the piece that I was just saying there is, and I wanted to really emphasize, is that this is a free flowing show. Feel free to use the comments, stop and ask questions. I will pause periodically to look at those comments and questions and see if I can give greater clarity or maybe open up this discussion for a greater degree of detail. All right. So let's talk about some core challenges and kind of the overall value proposition of what we're trying to do here, what we're trying to express to you, right? So there's three core challenges that I found for myself when I was a coach or consultant. These are the things that I kind of beat my head against the wall numerous times, sometimes trying to understand how to get better and be more successful as a coach, consultant, or a service provider. Lead generation. I find that many professionals struggle with consistent lead and quality lead generation. And that's part of what we're going to do here is we're going to show you how to use some data-driven strategies to create a steady stream of qualified leads. Number two is differentiation. Standing out in a crowded market is kind of tough. I heard a fantastic statistic the other day that said there's 4 million coaches, leadership coaches on LinkedIn. That's a lot of leadership coaches. And if you just say you're another leadership coach, well, that's kind of tough to make your voice get heard above the void, the noise that is all those other 4 million. Whether it's 4 million or it's 3.8, it almost kind of doesn't matter. How do you differentiate yourself so that the people that need to find you can find you? Well, that's what we're going to spend some time on so that you can create these high ROI, return on investment campaigns to get you and your business to stand out in front of others. And number three, the core challenges is client acquisition. Converting leads into clients can be costly, time consuming, and take your focus away from other things that you may or may not want to be spending time on. So we'll walk you through ways to optimize your conversion rates and lower that client acquisition cost using data driven approaches. I'd like to stop for a moment and ask, are any one of those three, lead generation, market differentiation, client acquisition, do you struggle with any one of those? I'd love to hear your experience. And remember, if you're listening to this after a live episode, please type in pound replay and then your comment. But I'd love to see and share those comments from people. All right. And what you're going to get in this episode is the strategies and tool sets and ideas on how to optimize your marketing ROI by 60% using these data driven approaches. In fact, if you stay till the end, we're actually going to give you a tool that'll help you leapfrog you forward called a unique voice report. It's a free report that we generate. It was a tool that we built internally for our own teams because we found out that it's difficult for them to actually articulate what is their clear expertise in one sentence, right? Where somebody says, that's interesting. I'd like to ask more. And then you've got the supporting points that go after that. And that's what that unique voice report is. So you will give you access to that free tool. There's absolutely no obligation to use it. I think you'll find out that instead of taking the next 6 to 12 weeks to build it yourself with time and research, let us get that to you in 24 hours. So we call that the unique voice report, and I will share that with you a little later on here. Okay. The impact of this. What is the impact of listening to these strategies, trying to implement these strategies, understanding these methodologies? Number one is significantly reduce marketing waste through targeted campaigns. What do I mean? If you are a business coach that focuses on the financial end of things, optimizing finances, and you are talking in an organization, you're talking in a group, or talking in general to people who are interested in DEI initiatives, do you think they'll come forward? There's less chance. But if you talk in a group or forum where there's more people looking at business improvement and they're interested in the financial perspectives, you'll probably resonate more. So number one is to reduce your marketing waste by getting highly targeted in who you send it to and who wants to read your information. Okay? So that's knowing what you want and also knowing who you want to talk to. Number two, higher conversion rates from data informed content and strategies. I will tell you About myself personally, I have made this mistake plenty of times. Just the other day with my daughter, I saw her walk into the room and I said, "Hey, why you look a little upset?" And she looked at me. She says, "Why do you think I'm upset?" Hmm. Kind of started off on the wrong foot there. My intention was to help, but she wasn't upset. She just was thinking deeply about something. Point is, it's very easy to assume that we know what's happening for someone else. What if we made more informed decisions about what it is and had more informed perspectives as to what's happening? We're going to give you a little bit of information on how to get those data informed content and strategies layered in so that you get exactly to who you want and approach them sort of at the emotional state that they are, because that's when they're going to reach step forward. Number three, the third. This is the third level of impact. Automated, scalable marketing processes that grow with your business. Here's the thing: networking. I've done plenty of networking over the course of my life. Been to lots of different events, and it takes a lot of time and effort. I used to be the first to arrive and last to end. Got plenty of business cards. uh, Used to make a joke with each one of them. I'd ask them what, a friend of mine once taught me, ask them, what is their favorite TV show? And I'd write it on the back of their card. Why? Because when I put it in the subject line, they would always remember who I was in the conversation that we had because nobody else was talking to them about TV shows. Great tips and tools and tactics that I've learned over time to network with the people. But here's the problem: I still had to wait to get that conversation started. And sometimes I had to wait a week. Sometimes I had to wait 2 weeks. Sometimes, when I don't know if this is the right time to type. Spent all that time and got nothing out of it. So 3 hours, maybe I get 6 leads. Gosh, that's 30 minutes a lead. That's a fair bit of time. What if those leads started to step with you, right? As you wanted to grow, you just start to turn up the gas and you get more and more leads. That's what we're talking about, is getting lead acquisition, client lead generation faster, more scalably so. And that's what we're going to spend some time talking about today as we get a little deeper in. Want to stop for a moment? I'd love to hear from those three impacts we talked about: reduce marketing waste, data informed content and strategies, and automated scalable marketing process. If any one of those three resonate with you, why? What actions have you already taken today? What has worked for you? What has not? I would love to hear what has gone on for you. And if you're listening the replay, type in pound replay. Thank you so much. All right, let's keep going forward here because I want to give you some validating statistics. The biggest problem for me personally was, um, when I started to hit some of these. I told you at the very beginning that I probably have made every mistake there was, and then some. I always tell my kids I've made one more mistake than anybody else in the world. Um, I pride myself on the fact that I learn very quickly from those things. That doesn't necessarily mean I always have wonderful days. But when I started seeing some of the statistics that started to tell me how much other people were struggling with the same thing, I don't know that it made me feel better, but it felt a little validated that what I was feeling was not so bad, but there's probably a solution. So let's talk about three statistics here that kind of validate this space that we're talking about to optimize that marketing ROI. Okay. Statistic number one: companies using data driven personalization report 5 to 8x return on investment for their marketing spend. It highlights the immense potential of data driven strategies in boosting market effectiveness. Let me read that quote to you one more time, or that statistic. Companies using data driven personalization report 5 to 8x ROI for their marketing spend. That's from McKinsey in 2021. So basically saying is, if you're a triangle shaped person that lives in the Midwest and you're the CEO of a company, if I talk about trials, Midwest, and CEOs, triangles, CEOs, and Midwest, I'm more likely to get you to listen to what I have to say. And that ROI is 5 to 8x greater, according to McKinsey. I think that's pretty significant. Number two, businesses using marketing automation see a 14.5% increase in sales productivity. This is from Salesforce. And what this is basically saying is that automation can significantly enhance your marketing efforts and results. Why does this matter? Because, gosh, that 30 minutes, if I could reduce that by 14.5% for each one of them, maybe I didn't need to be away from the family for 2 hours, but maybe only an hour and 35 minutes. Right? I'm not probably doing perfect math there, but I think you get the essence of what I'm saying. What if you could put these structures and procedures in place that put automations in there for your marketing that just bring the leads to you with a lot less time, effort, and expense. Okay. That was from Salesforce in 2020. Businesses using marketing automation see a 14.5% increase in sales productivity. Let's talk about number three, the impact of using some of these strategies that we're going to talk about. Data driven organizations are 23 times more likely to acquire customers. I want to say that one again. Data driven organizations are 23 times more likely to acquire customers. That's from the McKinsey Global Institute in 2021. And it underscores or kind of undergirds this whole idea that the crucial role of data in attracting and converting leads into customers. 23 times more likely to acquire customers. Data driven strategies rule. But how does this all work? And that's what we're going to start to talk about here in just a couple of moments. So I want to pause for two things. Number one, I'd like to listen to any comments. If you're listening, what are those three statistics? The 23 times more likely to acquire customers, the 14.5% increase in sales productivity, or the 5 to 8x ROI? Which one of those three resonate with you? Maybe personally with your organization, which one do you think most addresses the concerns or the challenges, frictions that you're experiencing today? So please go to the comments and type in what your thoughts are. I'd love to hear what you're thinking. Number two, I'm going to start to share with you a little bit of our process and how we break it down and how all these pieces, these puzzle pieces fit together. And I'd love for a question because I'd love to be able to create clarity because in the course of 25 years distilled, I'm not going to be able to do that in the course of 30 minutes. I'm going to try to give you the high level concepts and sort of things that you can start to think about doing that'll actually get you there. But don't expect on the first go round. It's taken us a long time to perfect this ourselves, our content flywheel and this proven process for ourselves internally. It didn't happen on the first go. So the results that you're going to get on the first go are not going to be the same results that we'll get. We'll be more than happy to give you that tool that I told you about that'll actually help you get there faster. We'll start to move you in that direction. But I will tell you, as you do this, it will become easier and you will start to see some significant results, maybe on the order of about 60%. Okay. So the problem many businesses struggle with low marketing ROI, leading to wasted budgets and stagnant growth. People are putting money into marketing, but it's just not working. Part of the reason why is because I tell people there's two different ways that you can project light. One is a 300-watt light bulb floodlight, super bright, lights up a whole area, or a 300-watt laser, which can burn through sheet steel. Which one would you rather be? I personally have learned over time that I would rather be the 300-watt laser because I want to be able to point at a target and achieve it. So this is what we're going to do is we're going to start to show you how to become the laser versus the 300-watt laser versus the 300-watt floodlight. As we said in some of those statistics, companies that don't have those data-driven strategies and intentional focus in who they're focusing often miss the mark, failing to reach the right audience, get the right message across. It doesn't resonate with them and become compelling for them to step forward. And that's what all these next three steps are going to lay out for you. So your customer acquisition cost goes up because you got to go to networking events and meet with you got to kiss six frogs, only to find out that every 12 frogs that you kiss, one turns into a potential customer, right? What if we can get that to one in every two or one in every three? That's a significant improvement. Well, data-driven strategies are going to get you there. Okay. So let's start to talk about the solution here. And I'd love to, just before we start to talk about the solution, I'd love to hear where you feel, oh, and I specifically chose that word. Why do you feel like your marketing strategies have not been working for you to date? And I will tell you, we're not a marketing company. We're actually a business intelligence company. We study data and we look at trends and analysis and we start to try to understand the stories behind them. So as we've looked at our own data, we've started to learn things over time, what's working, what's not, and we start to shift behaviors. I'd love to learn from you and understand from you in the comments. What behaviors have you noticed? What things just didn't feel right or don't feel right today? What has turned you away from using a marketing company? What are you skeptical about? I'd love to hear that. Please drop it in the comments. And if you're watching, replay, go ahead and type in pound replay before your comment. All right, let's get to the solution here. Audience segmentation. Number one. So I'm going to talk about these things, and some of them may feel like revisits, but I'm going to revisit them in a specific way for a specific purpose, because I think when you start to see how they stack on top of each other and they build, you actually can start to build what is the equivalent of our proven process, that content flywheel. Number one, audience segmentation. Let's talk about what segmentation means. Yeah, we talked about, I made a reference to this idea of I speak to triangles that are CEOs in the Midwest. Well, those are three ways of segmenting, because there are triangles, there are squares, there are circles, there. So we want to talk to CEOs of medical device companies, for example. So we're getting targeted here, that are in the Midwest. All right. And I don't know how many there are, but what stage do we want to talk to them? How many employees do they have? What type of challenge do we want? So I'm a leadership coach for individuals or leadership coach for teams that are in the Midwest, in the medical device space, that have raised 25 million or greater and are having lots of dissonance within their teams in going to market or continuing to execute market. That is somebody. There are a series of somebodies who meet that. Now, all of those criteria are filters, 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 filters. Those are segments that you're, so by putting more of those segments in, you're segmenting your criteria. Okay. The more you segment, the more specific you're going to get. And this is part of what that report will do for you. It will show you how big that segment is for you. So um, when you go through and segment, what it allows you to do is another thing. It allows you to start to do research around those people, because when you do proper segmentation, proper as in your definition of segmentation, right? You can lead to more targeted and effective marketing. Because if I talk to those CEOs or leadership teams of Midwest based medical device companies who've raised $25 million in venture, that has a specific set of problems. And if I start to show my specific expertise, those people will show up for me. Okay. So segmentation is number one. I'd love to hear from people on the phone. Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. Do you feel your organization, and feel free to share more comments or more color if you'd like, but do you feel your organization has done a good job, or yourself has done a great job of segmenting your population for your ideal customer profile? Okay. Please give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down in the comments there. Next, content creation. So, um, data informed content resonates with each segment. That's the notes that I wrote here. Let me tell you what that means. So, we're talking about this leadership leader who's the CEO of a Midwestern medical device company that's raised $25 million. What kind of problems would they have? What if I shared from the Society of Human Resources and Management that the average medical device company with $25 million in revenue has 38% more interdepartmental communication problems than the companies that have raised less? Tell me something. Or maybe a thought for yourself is, would that resonate with that CEO, where they would say, yeah, you're not only speaking to me exactly in terms of who I am, but I'm feeling that problem. Or maybe there's a sense of pride. I don't think my number's that high, but I want to find out. Being able to provide that level of segmentation and that level of granularity of expertise, and then saying, hey, I can do this to help with that interdepartmental communication. Here's some tools and some frameworks that I give. Makes it so easy for them to understand how to reach out to you and why they need to reach out to you. I find oftentimes, if I don't know what to say to someone, uh, I don't reach out. uh, because I don't know what to say to them. What if they knew exactly what to say to you? By creating content that is data driven in terms of their specific needs and problems, where you've now layered in your solution, actually speaks to them. I talk about this hair on the back of my neck moment, right? When someone says to me that resonates so deeply with me, uh, I, based on a number of uh, personality indexes and profiles, I'm very much in the visionary seat. That's what I do, and I present that quite well. That's my natural zone. When someone starts talking to me about visionary problems, hairs on the back of my neck start to stand up because I'm having those problems. Or people say, "Hey, you're not very consistent." No, it's not lack of consistency. It's that I'm focused on the bigger objective and I'm constantly polishing my understanding of how we achieve that objective. Someone says, "Well, you're constantly having challenges doing things on a regular basis or showing discipline." That's actually not what my problem is. So someone who doesn't focus on visionaries doesn't understand that. They think I'm just unfocused, supremely focused, but I'm focused 25 years out. So now, if you speak to that level where someone talks to me as a visionary and say, "Gosh, you're misunderstood all the time. People think you're unfocused all the time." That's a hairs raising on the back of my neck moment where I start to go, "Oh my gosh, this person understands me. I need to talk to them. I know what to say to them." All right. I'd be curious if you believe that your content creation is in line with your ideal customer profile that's been segmented and speaks directly to the pain points of that customer, of that client, that ideal client. Give me type in a yes or no if you believe you have drilled your content down and made it really nice and tailored, or no, if not, share with me more thoughts. I'd love to understand. And if you're in the replay, again, type on replay for me. Last one, market research. We've talked about all these things. I have found that for myself, I've got some core and fundamental pieces of research that I base all of my thoughts on. Right? It doesn't have to be just one, but there are three or four or five profound statistics that help me define the space that my potential clients have as a challenge. Question for you. Do you have those 3 to 5 statistics? Lots of times we can repeat what those things are. But what if we expanded that a little bit more to be able to understand more holistically what their challenge is, right? So if you want to create a high ROI in what you're doing, you need to be able to speak specifically to them so only those people step forward. And the way to get them to step forward is understand their pain, just like we talked about for myself as a visionary, what makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up. Now, if you've got the market research that speaks directly to their pain, the hair stands on the back of their neck, they're reading it, they know how to reach out to you, but that's because you've done your research. Okay. So what we have done throughout the course of our market, content flywheel, and this proven process, we segment our market. We know exactly who our ideal customer is, what they look like, what they breathe, where they go hang out. It sounds a little significant in terms of the research. Yeah, it is. We've spent a lot of time, and that's why it resonates. Say 9 out of 10 times when I tell people what I do, who is a potential client, they say, "Well, hold on a second, I've got that problem." That's a fantastic way to have a conversation. What if they were looking at your content that you did online? And that's exactly how they were responding. Wait, I got a question for you. That's when they like, that's when they comment, that's when they send you a direct message or a DM and say, "What can I do? Can I spend some time to walk with you?" They will reach out to you. Um, so want to stop for a moment here, kind of check in with everyone. We talked about audience segmentation as a first step. Number two is the content creation that's market driven and data driven. And number three is that market research that kind of validates the pain points that you're understanding so you can speak to their pain, the things that are causing friction for them. And that all allows you to easily show what your solution can do and translate that into their things. So I'd love for those audience segmentation, content creation, and market research. Do you feel, I'd love to hear in the comments, do you feel that one, two, or the three of those things are something that you do really well or you struggle with today? Please share that with me. I'd love to know and love to discuss if there's some questions or clarifications I can give you because this is all part of our content flywheel. This is part of our proven process that works for us over and over and again. It's really kind of just that simple. Now, I'm going to make it even simpler for you. Again, we did this for our own internal purposes because this was difficult to create as we adventure into new markets. It's difficult to do all this market research. So we said, hey, let's create a tool that does it for ourselves. So we're sharing this tool with you. And the reason why is because instead of taking 4, 6, 7, 8, 12 weeks to build all this market research and understanding your unique voice and doing personality tests and pulling all this stuff together, we'll do it for you in about 24 hours. And it's completely free. Okay. So if you want these strategies implemented for you, if you want to take our free report and for us to build a custom plan of action in terms of what you can speak about, what topics to talk about, what's going to resonate with your audience, we'll do that. I've hired companies and it's taken them weeks to do it before in the past. We are going to use, along with some AI, in 24 hours, create that all for you. So you get your audience segmentation, you get your content creation, you get your market research all done in a day. And it basically tells you what you need to talk to them about. Okay? And it tells you what your content should be focused on. We'll even go one step further if that's interesting. We'll actually even create all that content for you based on your unique voice analysis. So I'm going to put up on screen here something that'll give you a link to that. You can type in pound ROI into the comments if you'd like. If you type in pound ROI, we'll respond back to you and send you a link to this free unique voice diagnostic that will analyze your voice, your tone, your emotion, how you speak, who you resonate with, who you're magnetic with, and the people that you kind of naturally repulse because your voice and your style and your personality are like a fingerprint that's unique to you. But we also tell you who your audience is, what they want to hear, what their pains are, what are their emotions that they're experiencing, and how you can speak not only to those emotions, but to those pains with the solutions that you have. So if you're interested in getting that free report, you can spend the next few $1,000s or a few weeks building it yourself, or you can get this report. There's absolutely no obligation. Again, we built it for ourselves. There's a QR code on screen, or type in pound ROI into the comments and I'll send you the link directly. All right. Well, we're up on time. Hope you got some thoughts out of this. I would love to see in the comments if there's something that stuck with you. You got some greater clarity. Please share that with me. I'd love that. I'm sure others would get some value out of it. I do want to close by saying next week, or excuse me, our next episode, which will be on Tuesday, we're going to talk about achieving a 50% higher conversion rate, how to master your prospecting and market saturation to convert more leads into paying clients on autopilot. You'll notice everything that we're going to do is an autopilot because we started to build these systems and processes just start generating. And the beautiful thing about when it's on autopilot is you can turn up the gas and make it go faster. Okay. Thank you very much for your time. Type in pound ROI into the comments if you got some, if you have an interest in that free diagnostic, or scan this QR code on screen, or go to that URL and take that diagnostic. Well, there's absolutely no obligation. Use what we built for ourselves for your own benefit. Thank you. Enjoy.